This is not just the story of a plant. It's the story of fear, politics, and power. Once, cannabis was as ordinary as bread and cloth grown in American farms, sold in pharmacies, and used in homes across the country. But within a few short years, it was transformed into a forbidden enemy. How did a simple herb become one of the most controversial substances in U.S. history? This is the painful truth behind how cannabis became illegal in America. In the 1800s, cannabis, often called hemp, was everywhere. It was used to make rope for ships, paper for books, fabric for clothes, and even medicine for coughs and pain relief. Doctors prescribed cannabis extracts for insomnia, migraines, and stomach problems. It wasn't exotic, dangerous, or hidden. It was simply a useful crop, grown by ordinary American farmers and valued by families across the country. But the 1930s brought economic struggle and social tension. The Great Depression hit hard. Powerful industries, timber, cotton, and paper, feared that hemp could threaten their profits. At the same time, Mexican immigrants and black jazz musicians used cannabis recreationally and called it marijuana. Instead of celebrating diversity, newspapers fueled fear. Sensational headlines screamed, "Marijuana assassin of youth. Deadly weed spreads crime." These were not scientific facts. These were deliberate scare tactics, designed to turn a plant into a public enemy. In 1930, a man named Harry Ans became the first commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics. Anslinger was a skilled politician and a master of fear. He linked cannabis to violence, madness, and racial prejudice. He testified before Congress with shocking but unverified stories. Marijuana makes men insane. It causes young people to commit violent crimes. These statements were never backed by science, but they captured the public's imagination. In 1937, Congress passed the Marijuana Tax Act, effectively criminalizing cannabis nationwide. Overnight, a plant that had been legal for centuries became a federal offense. Farmers lost their livelihoods. Patients lost access to medicine. And ordinary people, especially immigrants and minorities, became criminals. In 1930, the crackdown was swift and brutal. Mexican laborers, black communities, and working-class citizens were targeted first. Police arrested thousands, and judges handed down harsh sentences. Families were torn apart. People who once grew hemp legally were now branded as dangerous criminals. This wasn't just a war on a plant, it was a war on people. In the 1970s, President Richard Nixon declared the war on drugs, placing cannabis in Schedule I of the Controlled Substances Act. This meant cannabis was classified as having no medical use and a high potential for abuse, the same category as heroin. Despite mounting evidence of its medical benefits, the law painted cannabis as one of the most dangerous substances on earth. In the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan doubled down with even stricter penalties. Prisons filled with nonviolent offenders. Generations were scarred. By the 1990s, science began to fight back. Researchers showed cannabis could relieve chronic pain, reduce seizures, and help cancer patients. California became the first state to legalize medical marijuana in 1996. Today, more than half of U.S. states allow some form of legal cannabis, but tens of thousands of people remain behind bars for actions that are now legal in many places. The shadow of the past still lingers. The story of cannabis is not just about a plant. It's about how fear and misinformation can shape law and ruin lives. For decades, propaganda replaced science, and millions paid the price. Now, as legalization spreads, America faces a choice. Will we simply move forward, or will we repair the damage of the past? History shows that truth cannot stay buried forever. The question is, will we finally learn from it?